Hello everyone, this is Angel Skibel here. Welcome back to another movie review, and today we're going to be reviewing Lee Cronin's The Mummy, directed by Lee Cronin, who also directed movies like Evil Dead Rise, which is a really good horror movie, in my opinion. Yeah, sure, leans on into like the generic horror movie side, but it's still good. And this is like the only two movies that I know from him, The Mummy and Evil Dead Rise, and I have not seen other of his movies, just those two. But I'll explain that in my review. So without further ado, and also this movie's also starring a bunch of actors that I'm not really too familiar that much. So yeah. So without further ado, let's get to the review. So our movie starts off with a family going back to their house, back in Egypt. The husband and wife, they go down to their basement to check if the mummy is still inside their sarcophagus, which is funny because sarcophagus is like a new word I learned when watching this movie. They check to see if the mummy is still asleep. We get a jump scare. The husband gets killed by one of the hooks that is supposed to hold the sarcophagus. Ends up killing him. Really gross. Then, like months or weeks later, we cut to our main family. The main character's family, who are there for a business trip, who live in Egypt for a business trip. One of the girls, as she plays in her garden, at her house, she is called to her secret friend, or that's what she calls or believes that's her friend. But that secret friend happens to be the wife that ends up kidnapping her and taking her to some secret place, and the father tries to chase after her. He had no luck of getting her back. So now the family is devastated. They lost her. Now 8 years later, they kind of moved on. They're all grown up. Then they finally get a call saying that they found her. They found her like in the same sarcophagus that they found her. And the reason how they found her is that two guys who were flying a plane they all end up dying, and the plane ends up crashing while the sarcophagus also falls there too. And officers believe that perhaps they were doing this to like traffic children, but it turns out and later on in the story it goes deeper than just trafficking. As the family hears this news, and they're finally relieved, but as they see her, it's like she is completely different. Like she's like this. She doesn't speak. She's like all crooked. It's really weird stuff. Like obviously doesn't look like the traditional like mummy type until like the very end. Most of the scenes are like really gross. Like every time they try to like they try to bathe her or like trying to clean her, it just comes off as gross. And they did a really good job at that. And which I'll get to like my pros. But as they did their research on when they found one of her skins having like letters, like ancient Egyptian letters, they did their research, and it turns out that the reason why they kidnapped her, the woman kidnapped the little girl, is that since she is young, they believe that an ancient Egyptian demon will be sealed in a little girl for a long time. Because they chose a little girl, since her body will last longer, they will be able to trap the demon inside her. Because since the old mummy that they have was, getting old and dying, they believe they had to transfer her body to someone younger. So that's why they had to keep her there. And the reason why is that if she's let loose, then the entire wherever they lived will be flooded and will be ruled by that demon. So obviously, towards the end, we find this out towards like the end, and the father finds out about this, and he decides that, okay, fine, I'm gonna have this demon trapped inside of me so that the little girl could be set free. But in order to do that, they had to chant some Egyptian like ancient language to be able to cast that demon into his body. So he has one of the side characters, who is a lady detective in Egypt, chant the language and sealing the demon inside him. Now that the little girl's set free, they track down the woman who is responsible for kidnapping the woman. They find her, and they bring him back like as a mummy like that, and just like starts like throwing the demon on her. Well, we don't see it like it's kind of like off camera. We kind of just see like a hallway just like zooming out, and we just kind of assume that's what's gonna end, and like that's how the movie ends. So here's my pros on this movie. I would say at times they did a really good job when it came to the practical effects in this movie. The scary, I think the scary parts, I mean, they are right at best. I mean, it's not like the scariest movie ever. Not like Undertone, where Undertone fucking scared the hell out of me when watching that movie. But this one, I mean, it's just like it feels like another generic horror film when it comes to just like, and also this is the same this is like the same studios that also made, not Warner Brothers, but the same studio that brings the Conjuring movies, like New Line Cinema and Mecha Monster or something, Atomic Monster. Yeah, that's the studio company. So yeah, I mean, towards the end of the climax, it kind of falls into like the Conjuring ending where everything's like, oh, everything's a whole poltergeist, and then the main character saves the day. So yeah, but the practical effects are really good. My issues is that, obviously, I mean, like I said, this is just, another generic horror film. It doesn't, like, it's not that scary. Like, it relies on a lot of loud noises to kind of, like, scare you, but it's not really scary. Unlike, I'm going to bring up Undertone a lot, just to compare, like, the horror of it. Like, Undertone obviously does, like, a better job at horror when it comes to, like, building suspense. And it's, like, it kind of leaves you, like, unease. And it's just making you wait for, like, the moment, but it doesn't happen. And also the images in that movie are really scary. But on The Mummy, it almost feels very predictable. The only thing that makes The Mummy really good is obviously like the practical effects in this movie. Like they done a really good job at that. Like in the beginning of the movie, like I said, like obviously the hooks grabs the man from the jaw, just like hanging like that, like that was really good. I like the part when they also like try to cut one, like the little girl's nails when they try to like clean her. It like let's just say this is like her toe, and they try to crack it, like they try to like break it, but it ends up like peeling the skin off, and it's like, oh shit, that's crazy. The old lady in this movie that was trying to like do like she's trying to pray, to keep like this demon away from me, like she's Catholic, she does this Rosa Guadalupe type stuff praying. She like there's a part where where the mummy like possesses like the cross to grab her by their neck, throws her off the window. Everyone sees that, and then the whole coyotes started going onto her and start fucking eating her. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. And even the annoying parts about this movie is that there's things where like the little girl, the little mummy is like obviously in plain sight, like crawling around throughout the house and stuff like that, but they're kind of like dismissing it like the generic white family. Oh, and plus, oh yeah, another thing, the husband, the main character is white, while the wife and the other two kids and three, they're kind of like mixed, like Hispanic, which is like I thought we Hispanics in horror movies would know better, but no, we're no different than white people in horror films. Yeah, they just dismiss us like, oh, nothing happened. Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, So yeah, another disappointing thing is that I was hoping to see what's his name? What's his fucking name? What's his name? Hold on. I'll be right back. I need to do my research. Okay, just did my research. Brendan Fraser. I was hoping to see Brendan Fraser in this movie. He comes in, blazing the whole house, where he grabs his guns, and his friends come along, say, well, this just got better. Ah! And then the guy, the brother-in-law, he comes in with the spear, like, I don't know what to do. Oh, okay. And then saves his name. Boom! I'm just fucking with you guys. You know, although that would have been really cool to see. Although that would have been really cool if this movie and the Brandon Fraser mummies were connected, but apparently that's not going to happen because this is New Line Cinema, which is owned by Warner Brothers, and the mummies with Brandon Fraser obviously are from Universal. So yeah, I was kind of hoping, but I mean that would be really cool, but no. Okay, so for my final verdict for this movie, you know, great practical effects, generic horror film. The performances were okay. You know, it's a horror film. Not every acting in horror films are not going to be that great. The lore is really interesting. I would actually like to see more. I would actually like to see a sequel out of this. I mean, if it's possible. I mean, I don't know how they're going to continue with that, but I would like to see Lee Cronin's The Mummy 2. Although I feel like Lee Cronin's is kind of like a long title, like for the whole movie. I don't think that really needs to be there. Like, we already know you're directing that. You don't have to fucking put your name there. So, my final verdict for this movie, 7 out of 10. Yeah, it's okay for a horror film. So, in conclusion, some things or someone are meant to stay buried for a reason. Well, that's going to be today's movie review, so make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon up there. Make sure to follow my Instagram page called Thunderstruck1810. This is Angel Esquivel here, and as always...
Hello, this is Kitty.
Mira bien, hijo de tu puta madre. Soy Mencho, güey. Relaja tu puta gente a la verga. Soy Mencho, güey. No cuelgues, hijo de la verga.